It's the story of a blind girl who goes missing, and when she's discovered 7 years later, her sight has been restored, but she won't talk about what happened over those 7 missing years.
Specifically, do you remember the night that you disappeared?
I didn't disappear. I was present for all of it. All 7 years, 3 months, 11 days.
And instead, she opens up to this group of teenage boys, and as she's telling them the story of those missing years, you begin to think that maybe she's telling them for more reasons than she's letting on, that she might be recruiting them to some other end.
All right, Homer's movement, a second, but really slow to start.
On this one, is it a breath in or a breath out?
It's right here.
The movements and these characters doing a sort of interpretive dance, which I think is interesting and is certainly unique in a sci-fi show to have so much built around kind of these movements and what those movements meant. What interested you about that kind of dance?
I mean, I think movement has been interesting to Zal and I for a long time. I think in the beginning we talked a lot about the idea that violence is a uniquely cinematic thing. You can read a violent passage in a novel and it's intense and visceral, but when you see it on screen, it's something else entirely in terms of how it shocks your senses. And so I think for us, we were interested in exploring what a kind of antidote to that might be. What is something else that's uniquely cinematic that could come up against that? And for us, that was the idea of movement.
OA messed me up so much, season 1. I was just not even understanding life.
What the heck is going on, dog?
I'm fucking scared now. Like, this is...
What the fuck is this?
The audience really took it in, and I think we were surprised by how willing people were to take in a story that takes some wild leaps in imagination and structurally does really different things.
Well, I hear that you have an exciting announcement about the future of the OA, so if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Zal and I have given it a lot of thought. I think Netflix has given it some thought too, and we've decided to make part 2 of the OA.
Okay.
So we're going to dive in and go back to work.
Nothing happened the way I imagined.
Let me, Miss Ozarova.
I live here.
The OA is certainly about the idea of inventing myth, inventing a new myth that's maybe useful, drawing a group of people together in real time in a real space away from their smartphones who are connecting.
It's all connected. We can get to the bottom of it.
You're tougher than you look.
You're kinder than you seem.
But I think we also believe that storytelling has to leave just the storyteller, and it has to enter the audience. And that happens in the OA because, like, they have to believe even in the absence of evidence, or even if evidence is against the idea of believing it.
Yeah, well, ultimately a puzzle is a conversation between the player and the maker. The puzzle maker is teaching you a new language, how to escape the limits of your own thinking and see things you didn't know were there.
Sounds like God.
Except it's real.
But I think then our goal, whether intentionally or unintentionally, is that the audience then also mimics that and has to sort of believe it on their own. Like, that the storytelling is complete in everybody else, not just from us, because it never was ours in the first place.
makes sense.
I hate them. I have like so many questions.
Oh no!
Sad news for fans of the OA. Netflix has canceled the sci-fi drama after 2 seasons. Over on Instagram, star Marling wrote a letter to fans saying in part, "Zal and I are deeply sad not to finish this story. While we cannot finish this story, I can promise you we will tell others." And Netflix head of originals Cindy Holland said, "We are incredibly proud of the 16 mesmerizing chapters of the OA and are grateful to Britt and Zal for sharing their audacious vision and for realizing it through their incredible artistry. We look forward to working with them again in the future, in this and perhaps many other dimensions."
Well, she's gone now, so maybe that will be a relief for you.
She ain't gone, Doc. She's got a plan. Always got a plan. She'll be back.
What makes you say that?
The only way to recover is to form a tribe.
Tell them your name.
I'm Imperial.
Much love, much love. Save the show, everybody. Let's go.
Yes.
Woo!
You're here to bring attention to
The cancellation of the OA by Netflix. They essentially said the show was too expensive and it didn't get enough people watching it, but they also didn't advertise or promote the show. They expected word of mouth to get the word out for them. At the same time, I don't think they fully appreciate or understand how important a television show can be to somebody who doesn't have any support the rest of the time. Like, it's great that people are taking the time to support me during the 5 days that I'm doing a hunger strike, but what about the other 360 days in the year? The only thing that I have in those times is a TV show that makes me feel hope and inspiration and makes me believe that there is a way forward in these dark times, because that's what the OA does. It's not like most television shows. It's not meaningless entertainment. It's thoughtful, it's inclusive, it actually addresses important philosophical elements in modern society, and it deserves to be saved. It's a work of art.
this beauty, this energy, what holds it together, what keeps it from dissolving into noise.